Kwame. Ladies and gentlemen, today we about to talk about Kwame Brown. Because recently he's been making some noise. To give some background on the situation, essentially, Jeannie Buss was on the All the Smoke podcast, and they got into it. Not like that, yo. Relax. I'm just saying, they were talking about the Lakers, Jeannie's career and time with the Lakers, certain transactions that have happened throughout the years. And at some point, they started talking about the Kwame Brown trade. For the people who don't know, in 2008, the Los Angeles Lakers traded for Pau Gasol at the trade deadline in a trade where they would send Marc Gasol and Kwame Brown to the Memphis Grizzlies in exchange for Pau Gasol. Now, this trade was brought up during the podcast, and let's just play the clip.
Traded Marc Gasol,
yeah, that's what people,
right?
oh, you got him for nothing, not
Right.
realizing that what you guys gave him was Marc Gasol.
And Kwame Brown. And so,
Marc Gasol.
and,
Right,
oh, you played with Marc?
No,
No?
that was a one-man trade. You just used the name. The name was just there.
So that clip right there, that is the clip that just made Kwame erupt. Now, mind you, I find it interesting that Jeannie was trying to be professional this whole time. She wasn't even trying to, they didn't even bring up Kwame. Jeannie brought her up out of respect, and then Matt Barnes and Stephen Jackson tried to make a joke about Kwame Brown, willingly. Now, if you've been in the NBA community for some time now, Kwame Brown is a figure that, doesn't have the best reputation. When you think of the NBA bust, Kwame Brown is at the top of that list for a majority of people. Adam Morrison is up there as well. Sam Bowie is up there as well. Anthony Bennett. But Kwame Brown, I feel like, is the most popular one, not only because he played with Michael Jordan, not only because he was drafted out of high school, not only because he played with Kobe, but specifically this clip right here I'm about to play right now.
Kwame Brown feels when you say Kwame.
Do I get to answer this, or are these rhetorical questions?
Sure, go ahead.
Do I get to answer it, or are they just rhetorical questions?
Go ahead.
Let me tell you something right now. Kwame, all right, I'm going to tell you why I say Kwame Brown or Rasho the Slava Medvedenko. I'll tell you why.
What the?
Because you're Kwame Brown.
I don't know what that
You're
was.
7 feet tall. You're the #1 overall draft pick, okay? You come into this league, you came in without a jump shot. You came in without the ability to rebound. You came in without the ability to do nice footwork, to pass, to rebound, to defend, to score points, or whatever the case may be. And it's a decade later, and you're still that dude. You've never worked and put forth your due diligence in order to take advantage of the privilege opportunity that you were in. And when I see that level of consistency as it pertains to an aptitude, I'm going to call somebody out. If a dude is playing like garbage, you don't sit there and point out he's playing like garbage.
Of course
you don't
I
sit
do,
there and point out how he's not living up to expectation.
I don't want to get away from what we're talking about, because that's
Hey.
what makes this
Oh, I'm
great.
staying
I
on the point. I'm
appreciate
right
this
here.
forum. But
I'm right here.
there's a difference between reporting what you see in the box score at the game or calling someone a scrub. Like, if I make
But he is a scrub.
Kwame Brown may be a scrub. compared to
Oh my
Shaquille O'Neal.
God.
And if he's able to maintain one of those jobs for 10 years, there's no way he could be a scrub.
Relatively, he's a scrub.
Yo, Skip coming in. Relatively, he's a scrub. I think both of them make great points. Number one, I feel like as fans, obviously, we're not at the level of these NBA players. However, that doesn't mean as fans, we can't criticize these players. Obviously, when we're making these statements, it's relative to the competition. And I feel like the critiques with Kwame Brown have been just, bro. Let's just be honest. You're a #1 overall draft pick. Mind you, going into every draft, there are 30 picks per round, 2 rounds, meaning 60 players get drafted every single NBA draft. And out of those 60 players, you are drafted #1 overall because of the potential you have. Because you're a player that's supposed to change a franchise, supposed to be a franchise cornerstone. At the very least, the all-star. As a #1 overall pick, these are the expectations. And I don't care what you say, these are just expectations. And look, on the channel, we've had this debate about if Andrew Wiggins is a bust. Cool. If you want to have that debate, that's cool. But when we look at a player like Kwame Brown, again, #1 overall draft pick, His best season is 11 points and 7 rebounds. And for his career, he's averaged 7 points and 6 rebounds. That's a bust. That is a bust unequivocally. I don't know what to tell you. However, Jalen Rose brings up a good point. I feel like a lot of the criticism now, there's this overlap of criticism and just flat out disrespect. Flat out disrespect. To call any NBA player a scrub. They're just not. They're just not. You're a scrub. I'm a scrub. That's a scrub. If you made it to the NBA, period, at any point in time in your life, I can't call you a scrub. I'm sorry, I can't. I can't call you a scrub. And we were talking about this on the Let's Keep It a Buck podcast last night. Bro, let's not even talk about NBA. A majority of D3 athletes, D3 basketball players, will watch 80% of a YouTube comment section, if not more. 90%. I'd push it to 90%. Nonetheless, D2, D1, EuroLeague players, NBA players, if you have made it to the NBA, you're not a scrub. Actually, the clip you just watched wasn't even the right clip. This is the clip right here. Hold on.
They gave up Kwame Brown. Who
First
cares?
rounders.
I could care less.
Tied into his salary for 4
First
years.
of all, understand something. When you're giving up first-round picks, if you are a quality team in playoff contention, it really doesn't mean that much. That's number one. Number two, and more importantly, Kwame Brown is gone. The City of Angels, Hollywood, just should be celebrated. Throw a parade already, whether you win a championship or not. This man was a bona fide scrub. He can't play. No disrespect whatsoever, but I'm sorry to tell everybody the truth.
That's
the man
disrespect.
cannot play the game of basketball. He has small hands. He can't catch the ball. He's got bad feet. He can't really move, even though he's mobile. Doesn't really know what he's doing. Doesn't have a post move that he puts to memory that he can do 2 times in a row. He has no game whatsoever. Plays no defense. Doesn't have the heart, the passion, or anything that comes with it. And you're asking me whether they gave up too much? Please, the Los Angeles Lakers knew exactly what they were doing. They should be celebrating right now, and Kobe Bryant should not be saying a word.
His contract comes off the books, and as you know, in the NBA.
That's the clip. That's the clip that has transcended generations. I saw a TikTok the other week about someone saying this exact video, word for word, bar for bar, and that has like 900,000 likes. But long story short, when you think of bust, a majority of the time, the first person that comes up in people's mind because of clips like this is Kwame Brown. So after years of silence, Kwame Brown finally spoke up. And let me just ask y'all, when was the last time y'all heard Kwame Brown speak? I'ma be honest, until the last week, I didn't know what Kwame Brown sounded like. But he spoke up. He spoke up, and he wants all the smoke. No pun intended. He wants all the smoke. He's coming at Matt Barnes. He's coming at Steven Jackson. He's coming at Stephen A. Charlemagne the God. We did a playback video today on it. Go check that out. But yo, let's play one of the clips.
Jack, me and you ain't even on the same level. I know you. You pay for women, nigga.
Oh wow.
I know you very well.
Oh wow.
Buying bags and all that, nigga. I know you. I know a lot of you effeminate males.
Oh
so
wow.
you niggas need to quit it with me.
Okay.
Don't
right.
ever speak on my name in that manner, nigga. When I don't talk about you, nigga, don't speak on me. Point blank, period. That's man shit from the go, nigga. This basketball shit that we was in, this fraternity, nigga, is supposed to be that. You niggas ain't supposed to be getting podcasts to talk like and act like the rest of these niggas that ain't in the fraternity. The f is you talking about? That's what y'all want to let out for these kids to see?
Oh man.
Nigga, ain't no nigga in the NBA a bust. Compared to everybody else, they the best. Are there levels when you get to that level? Yes. But put some respect on people's name, nigga. Baby, quote baby on that shit.
I ain't gonna lie, Kwame Brown looks like he's having the time of his life. He is just chilling. You know what I'm saying? He already made his millions. He's just talking that talk. I think Kwame's problem is that, yes, there's always going to be analysts, right? There's always going to be analysts. There's always going to be talking heads like myself. Like, I'm going to just be honest. I'm part of this media now. If you're a person who talks about basketball and you have a platform, you are part of media now. Let's just keep it at that. But Kwame's problem is Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson coming from the NBA in this fraternity of players, which is what a lot of NBA players talk about it as. It's a fraternity, it's a brotherhood. At the end of the day, there is competition. But at the end of the day, this is a whole big NBA family, and they should back each other up. It'd be different if it was Stephen A saying the same thing again on First Take the day after. But to come from All the Smoke, not a players only podcast, but a podcast led by players and market themselves as a podcast for the players to share the experiences they have. I don't blame Kwame for being mad at Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson for speaking the way they did, especially given the fact that, as we saw in the clip earlier, this wasn't something that Kwame Brown was a conversation. They were talking about the Pau Gasol trade. Kwame Brown wasn't even mentioned, and they just brought his name up. I don't blame him. So Kwame Brown does that stream, and then obviously he gains traction, and Matt Barnes responds on his IG Live, and this is what he says.
The last handful of days since you had my name in your mouth. Don't be fooled by this new attention, bro. All these people that are gassing you and putting a battery in your back, all the platforms that are picking you up, didn't give a about you last week, bro. They don't love you. They just love the drama and the old jokes you're saying. They don't love you. They don't love me. They don't know no one. They love a drama. That's it. But come on, All the Smoke. Come talk your shit face to face. You got a story to tell, obviously. You're hurt. I mean, like I said, you can play it off with humor, but you're hurt. And I get it. But come on the show. Talk that. Tell your story face to face. There's no bigger, better platform than ours. You can say what you want. We're an award-winning platform. We don't tear down black men because you're the butt of the joke. Now that's what you're on. You think we're tearing down black men, but if you actually watch the show, we empower everybody. That's what our thing is. So come on the show, man. We'll be in Atlanta next month. Come to you. Me and you got a box before, during, or after. Then shake hands to get this done. You know I'm always with the But come tell your story, man. Get that off your chest. You're attacking Stephen A. Smith. He's almost 60 years old. He don't want to fight you. But I ain't got no issues. Like I said, I'm with the So you could bring your hookah. You could bring that front seat of your car that you're always in, ranting about. Make yourself feel comfortable. Whatever you need to feel comfortable. But come on, All the Smoke, and tell your story, my nigga. We'll be in Atlanta next month. Let me know what's up.
So a couple of things to unpack with Matt Barnes' IG Live. Number one, he talks about how the NBA media doesn't give a about these players, and they're only in it for the clout. They're only in it for the clout, and they're just, Kwame's the story of the week, and that's really the only reason why they care about Kwame Brown right now. And I feel like, again, this goes back to what I said earlier. Yes, there's a difference between traditional media and this new era of media on social media, led by independent content creators. Shout out to Kenny, what he's doing with Call Game, whether it be channels like this, whether it be small podcasts like Let's Keep It a Buck, Through the Wire is another example. There's a difference. But at the end of the day, we are all sports media now at this point. We are now all sports media. And I feel like the fact that Matt Barnes is making it seem like All the Smoke is separate, that's not the case at all. And I feel like what you said there, Matt, is hypocritical, because if you really cared about Kwame, you would have already had him on your podcast before all of this drama happened. If you really wanted to hear his story, and maybe, this is something that happened that made you realize, Kwame would be a great guest on the pod, that's fine. But to make it seem like your platform is different from the other platforms that are just trying to take advantage of Kwame's situation right now, that's not the case. That's not the case. Because I feel like if that was really the case, he would have already been on the podcast.
Becky with the good hair. Hey, oh, fuck, no, he didn't do that. We not gonna put you on. These niggas so silly, they don't know what they want to do. Nigga, we don't need you, nigga. Nigga, we not gonna put you on, nigga. Go back to wherever you was at, this and that. Come on the podcast like men. Let's talk face to face now. If you want to box, if you want to this. These people on the internet don't love you. Did you love me when you were talking to me like that in front of that that white woman, bitch? You niggas crazy.
Okay.
Did I say I love these people that claiming they love me?
All right.
No, they listening to some real words.
Hey,
punk.
hey. I will say. I feel like a lot of this video, I've been backing up Kwame, and I feel like I have no problem with the premise of his words. No problem whatsoever. You've been the butt of a joke for damn near over a decade now. And Kwame, you have all the right to use your platform to speak out on it and just go crazy. That's on you. But let me just clarify. I'm not agreeing with some of the shit he's saying in terms of the terms he's using. Also, I'm not going to be able to react to all of the videos he's done, but if you've watched any of the videos he has on his channel, he's talked about a lot of personal stuff. We got a little bit into it earlier in this video with the Steven Jackson comments he made earlier, but yeah, he's gotten into a lot of personal stuff, and I feel like lines have been crossed. For a comment that Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson made for 10 seconds, just real quick during a podcast, lines have been crossed. Lines have definitely been crossed. And Kwame, again, if you're watching this, you reacted to Click's video a couple days ago. To each is their own, but I personally just wouldn't make those comments. But again, to each is their own. It seems like you built different, though, so it is what it is. There's a lot to unpack with the situation. There's a lot of conversations to be had with the Kwame Brown situation, which honestly, I never thought that sentence would ever come out of my mouth. And if there's one takeaway, and there's a lot of takeaways you can take from this video, I feel like one of them at least is that fans and players need to realize the context of certain phrases. Fans and players, because when we call players scrubs, when we call them busts, some people talk about it relatively speaking, but some people just talk about it definitively. You are a scrub. A majority of people, when they call Kwame a scrub, I personally feel like is relatively speaking. However, as we saw from the Stephen A clip from 08, that wasn't relatively speaking. He's talking about like he just has the inability to do certain things on the basketball court. That's a different thing. But I'm telling you right now, Stephen A back then, if y'all went one-on-one, Kwame is 21 zipping you. If y'all went 3-on-3 and Kwame Brown was the only NBA player on that court, Kwame Brown is dropping 15 points at least, and he's locking down every single shot that comes at the rim. That is just the reality of the situation. Watch this video right here where I talked about Adam Silver's plan for the 2022 season, how sus it is. But with that being said, I'm out. Peace.